Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me on today's tutorial. So I have a brand new mini album die set. Now you may have heard hints last year in some of my videos that I will be overhauling all of my mini album collection. So here is the first one. Now you might think, oh, you've seen these before, because we have kept the sizes exactly the same. So this new die set is going to work with your additions. So the first release is the large album die set here, and basically we have taken the landscape mini album here and we have condensed it down. So in order to make these two albums, you would need this set. You would also need the large ultimate binding and also the small binding. So the small binding would make this one and the large binding would make that one. So originally this die set here was designed as a landscape, but you can use it with the large to make portrait. So again, we have simplified everything down and we have added the spine sets in there. So you've got the dashed lines there, so you can trim that down to either make the landscape or the portrait. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this version here, and at the end I'll be showing you how to trim down the binding to make the smaller one there. Filming. Okay, so let's have a quick look inside these albums. We're going to be making this one today. So as with the other album, it's got all of the pocket pages in here. Now this tab here is from another set. Everything is going to be listed below, and there'll be further videos on all of these little bits and bobs inside this album as well. So this is my brand new paper pad. I've been using that to decorate. So again, it's just so lovely. And again, with these this new die set, you can choose the orientation as well for where you're going to have your pocket. So you can have a side pocket instead of having the top loading pocket as well. So I have so much information to share with you today. So here is the landscape one as well. So we have the belly band, we have the pocket here with the thumb tab. That is not in this one here, so we have updated it, we've condensed it down, and again here I've got the top loading pages, so you can get loads of photographs in this one. So this album here is going to be suited more for like landscape photographs. If you love your landscape photographs in 4x6, you'll have the 6 inches across here and the 4 there. You could just about squeeze on photographs 6 inches high if you wanted to add a few 6-inch 6x4s, not the 4x6s. So basically in portrait. So this one is going to be more suited for the landscape photographs, and if you tend to take your photographs in portrait style, so 6x4s, you are going to be more suited to this style. But again, in this one die set you will get the choice to make either, so that's really good. Okay, so just a quick look here. These are some of the other die sets coming up. This is my prototype, so it's made on flimsy photo paper, but using stronger photo paper, then it's just going to work a lot better. And here is the waterfall as well. So this collection is called Moving Pages. As you can see, it's all kinetic and it's a lot of fun. So let's jump straight now into the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with the spine. So let's have a quick look at the die set here. I've got everything on magnetic sheets here, nice and easy. Okay, so these are the two spine sets here, and we're using the full length of this one because we're going to be adding this in this orientation, so the pages will be going on to that way. So you also get the belly band in here, some corners, and here is the main page die and the pocket die and the mats as well, and a frame. Okay, so you need to die cut out one of these and 3 of those, and I've gone ahead and I've done that already. It's done the score lines for you as well, so just fold those over, and you are going to have a better result if you also use a bone folder to do your creasing as well. Okay, so that's all of that done. Just going to grab my glue now. I'm all layered up today because it's a sunny but frosty morning in the southeast of England today. So I've already been out in the weather. Right, so we're going to start off with this one first. The concept is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. It's just going to be a lot easier to make lots of different types of album from one die set. Okay, so the first one is going to go in the middle. You can eyeball it, or you can get your ruler out and measure it if you want. I didn't want to add any extra notches to this because they would be visible if you just decided to just have 2 of these fins in there. So you can choose, you know, your gaps in between these ones. So if you wanted to, you can just have it like this. If you plan on adding loads of bulky things, oh, I just broke that. If you wanted to add loads of bulky things to your pages, you would be good with literally just one of these fins in there. Okay, so I'm just going to add the other 2, and I'm going to make sure that there's equal space either side. And all of these, the extra notches here, the dash lines, they're all going to be hidden by the pages once it's in. So this is where you need to make sure that everything is straight, because if these go in wonky, you're going to have wonky pages. So we don't really want to have wonky pages, do we? So that looks all straight to me. Give that a good press, and then we're going to do the last one. I do find that adding adhesive and glues to craft cardstock, which is what I'm using, it does take that little bit of extra time to dry. I think it's because it's quite absorbent, because it's usually mostly made from, like, it can be made from recycled things, and the fibres are definitely not as compacted together as with other cardstocks. So there is that. So I'm just making sure that is straight. I'm going to press that down, and there we have it. It looks a bit funny right now because I'm trying to let the glue dry, and I'm just going to leave that as it is. Put that aside. We can manipulate and play with the spine fins after the glue's dry. Okay, this is Cosmic Shimmer in this tiny little bottle. I will link these down below as well. They're really handy. Okay, so moving on now, I'm going to do another spine here. This is for the album in landscape. As you can see, we need to trim these spines down, and we put the markings on there. Okay, so there was a little bit of a manufacturing error on here. I will grab my pencil so you can see. I just wanted to be transparent about that. It's not too bad. You can still make what you want to make with this die set. It's up to you whether you want to wait for this one or the reorder. I don't know when the reorder is going to be in. It's going to be sometime this year though. I'm just going to pencil out, just so you can see on the video, where these dash lines are. Now they've come out a little bit too high, but you can definitely still make your album from this. Okay, so this is where the dash lines are at the moment. They're a bit high. However, if did I put that in the wrong place? Hang on a second. It's because it's on the craft cardstock. I can't see. I should have chosen a different coloured cardstock. Just looking for my rubber. I did. I put that in the wrong place. Okay, so here is what it should look like. This line here is where we're going to, well, where we should cut. However, at the bottom is where the measurement should be. So it's super easy just to get around that. So we're just going to cut where the bottom dashes meet. Again, if you want to add your pencil line to make it easy, you can do. And then all we have to do after that is grab some scissors. I'm just going to trim that down. Again, if you want to wait for the restock, you can do. There we go. There is our spine. So all you have to do now is do the same for the smaller fins. So the smaller spine pieces, add it together just like we've done with this one, and you will have a smaller piece. Now if you already have some things in my collection, you can just go for this one here. If you have this, just use this one and that will fit perfectly. Okay, so moving on now to your page choices, because I did mention that you can have orientation choices for your pockets, whether they're top loading or side loading. So we're going to I'm going to show you the landscape options first. So for this one, okay, so if you wanted to have a pocket opening on the short end here when it's in the landscape, all you have to do is chop off these two side tabs here, glue together, so top and tail them just like that, get rid of these, and then you will have the opening here to add to your spine, and you will have a pocket opening on this side here, so it will be glued together by these long tabs there. Okay, so now for the portrait orientation, it's basically just the same technique as in the landscape one. You would lose some of the tabs in whichever orientation. So for a top pocket, just trim off both of these. I have a piece here. Add that to the bottom. I'm going to turn that around actually. You'll have this side here to add to your long fins, your long spine. You'll have the pocket at the top. If you want to have a long pocket on your page on the side, all you have to do is trim off these long pieces here, turn this over just like that, add that on there. We'll pretend these are chopped off. This is what is going to be added onto your long spine on this side. Let's pretend that's glued together. I'm only showing you dry runs today, and then you'll have a pocket here. So I'm thinking I'm going to add some images with the ends chopped off and things like that, just so that you can see that. So I will be putting that together. It's a lot easier if you have the diagrams to look at. I know you find that handy, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's pop some pages together. So I'm going to be using this panel here and this panel here. So again, this is going to go together exactly the same as all of my other previous albums, exactly the same construction. Just going to add that just here. And again, you can use red tape. I do prefer a strong wet glue, because I do notice that my albums don't fall apart further down the road when I've used, I think I put that on wonky. Just going to fix this and then I shall finish my sentence. Okay, yeah, I have had a few albums fall apart on me when I've used even like red tape. It doesn't last forever, it does lose its stick. So I do like to use a good strong glue. Okay, I'm just using my bone folder now because I did lift that off a few times just to press that down. And now you should have something that looks like that. Okay, so let's get this together. I'm going to keep my glue out actually. Right, so I have my binding here, and I need to tell you how many you need to make. You need to make 8 of these sets. Okay. So as with traditional mini album making, you are going to need a lot of cardstock, but that is just a mini album thing. And that's the same with the patterned paper as well. You go through a lot of pattern paper, a lot of cardstock, a lot of glue, a lot of double-sided tape if you're using that. And yeah, just be prepared for that. But that is just a general mini album thing. So what I'm doing now is I'm just exercising my spine pieces. I'm pressing them down just like so, moving them about. This is what's going to help give the spine pieces like that memory that it's going to turn this way and it's going to turn that way. So it's just going to make it so much easier. Okay, so we're going to ignore all of these pieces in the middle. We're going to be working on the side pieces, and I'm going to go with my first one. So we're going to be making the covers first. Now this year I'm going to be doing a lot of mini album making. We're going to be going into hardback covers, reinforcing your hardback covers, different types of hardback covers as well. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe down in the corner there. There's an icon there. If you click on that, it will subscribe you. So I'm going to be doing a lot of concentrating on the mini albums. From the dies and also ones that you can make just with the scoreboard. So I've put glue either side on the outside of this. We're going to slip that on. I'm going to keep everything as flat as we can, and I'm going to go up to the first score line. And I'm going to make sure that's straight as well. So there's a lot to remember. So if you are new to this, do use the glue. Do use the glue. I'm going to press that down. If you really want to, because I've done this millions of times, you can use just a ruler, just like that, just to make sure that it is on straight. So we do have a pocket there. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so let's go for the next one now. Make sure your pockets, when you're adding these, are all the right way, because we don't want some of your pockets down at the bottom. So always in your mind, keep an idea of the top, where your top and where your bottom is for the album. And the funny thing is with this craft cardstock is it has a colour variation either side, but I will be covering this, so I'm not too fussed on there. The reason why I've chosen craft card is because I have quite a bit of it, so it's absolutely perfect for making these samples for these albums. I'm just going to turn it back the right way round now. I'll just get my ruler just to show you how to do it. That is all straight. I can now press down, and here we have our basic cover. It should look like that now. We'll be sorting out these pockets later on. Okay, so now for all of these flaps, now for the pages. So I have 6 left, so I'm going to be adding those in. So I'm going to give you the tips as I go along, the first 1 or 2, and then I will speed up the rest. Okay, add glue again both sides, especially if you're new to this. Use the glue. If you use double-sided tape on this and you've not done this before, there is a big risk that you may stick your page on wonky and you can't fix it once it's done with the double-sided tape. With the glue you will have a little bit of a grace period basically to move it to get it right. So I'm going to tilt this down that way. I've got my pocket at the top. This is the top of my album, so I have the opening here, and I'm just going to slide that on. Now all of those page orientations I just showed you they're going to assemble just the same as this. Okay, so what I'm doing now before I press that down is I'm making sure they're aligned top and bottom, and that I've gone up to the score line, but I'm not covering it up. I can still see the score line. I just need to lift that so I can see it. And if you do get anything overhanging on the top there, if it goes up too high, you can just trim that off if that bothers you. So I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to press that down. So that is all aligned. Okay, so do exactly the same. Where's my glue? Here it is. Do exactly the same on both sides. There we go. Grab your page, double check where your top opening for the pocket is, and then slide that on. Do be quick though, especially if you are in a warm room. I'm not in a too warm a room because it's winter, but in the summer your glue may dry very quickly before you actually get to press it down and get it in the right place. So especially with these fast drying glues, press that down. There we go, it's looking good, everything is all lined up. Okay, so I'm just going to go along the rest here, and then I'll be back to show you the finished result. Okay, so I've just added my last page, which is actually the first page once you've opened it, so just make sure that it is lined. I am off just slightly, but I can live with that. If you can't live with that, you've got the glue, you can adjust that. I live in the UK, and I think it's Glue Gone or something like that. You can't get that over here, which is a shame because I could really use that in a lot of my projects. So if there's anything similar that I can get in the UK, let me know. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter, I can't get hold of it anyway. So here is my album. I've got all of my pockets here at the top. I'm just going to give you a measurement. Actually, you do need to manually cut the pages for the inserts, so let's give you some measurements. Where on earth is my ruler? Here it is. Okay, so this measures 5.5 by 9. That is for the portrait. Now this is a slimmer edge here because, let me just show you. I like to give the reasons why, and I'm trying to explain. It is shorter because we have the spine inside the page. I'm covered in bits of dry glue. You guys know I don't like that, so let's see. This one's wet still, so I'm going to go for one that's more dry. As you can see, my ruler will only go that far because we have the spine system inside that page pocket. So that is why they are a little bit shorter. Okay, so I gave you the measurement for that one. Let's go for the landscape. Again, this is going to be a different measurement from the portrait because the spine piece is on the other side. So we have 8 inches by 6 3/8. I added a little bit extra there just so that it was easier to get in and out. And I've also added these side paper clip, like a bulldog clip tops here. That is from this combo set here. This is the journal and album accessories die set. This is a duo. You get the belly band there. It comes as a 2. So you've got the Polaroid. I do have one cut out already. There we go. Got the Polaroid there. That's orange. It's getting quite bright in here, isn't it? Okay, and we have dates, who, where, what, when. Anyway, I'm going to be going through all of these sets in the next video. So this is going to be the first video to be released for this collection, and I will be going through all of the other extra die sets. So it will be the magic eye here, the waterfall mechanism there, and I also have a squash album as well. So make sure you are subscribed just down there in the corner if you don't want to miss the rest of the tutorials for this collection. So everything that I've used today will be listed down below. I'm hoping this video isn't too long, and if you've stayed this far right to the end, thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe in the corner, and I'll see you again soon.